Hello and welcome to another edition of Thru-Hiking Tips and or advice from me, because apparently I know everything. I'm going to apologize right now. I got a pretty nasty cold in 90-degree weather, which is fun. So let's get this thing started. One of the important things to remember when you're preparing for a thru hike is that the average thru hiker can burn upwards to 6,000 calories per day. It's a lot of calories. The biggest thing when it comes to eating proper foods is that the food is, the weight kind of equals out, the actual weight of the object equals out the amount of calories that you're undertaking. So that's actually why you'll see a lot of thru hikers carrying jars of peanut butter on the trail, because the calories make up for the fact that you're carrying a jar of something. A lot of hikers do this, and it's probably split like 50 because that's split. You could actually get a dehydrator like this one. Dehydrator. The thing that you have to remember, just like finding your right fit for your shoe, it's different for everybody, okay? I was a huge fan of Luna bars. I actually still take them with me when I go hiking. A lot of times what we kind of miss out on is actually reading the ingredients, because you should be able to read now if you're an adult. For instance, this one bar is 170 calories, which isn't really much, but it's rather light to carry. And it has a lot of important things like potassium and protein and fiber. One thing is that your food will probably be stored in lots of Ziploc bags. This is a little itty bitty one. This is like a bite for a thru hiker. Yep, a bite. Reusing these actually, a lot of times what I do to help with leave no trace, carry in, carry out, is that after I ate something in one of these, I'd use it as a trash bag, which was helpful. One of the important things to remember when it comes to mail drops is that post office and even hostels, they have operation hours. And you go and you get there on a Saturday and you find out they're closed on the weekend. Awful. So they're closed, then you gotta wait until Monday to get that mail drop if it's a super important mail drop. And that's all that time and energy and money wasted into putting that together and sending it out. So that's kind of like the con about mail drops. If you're looking to supply at, say, Fontana Dam, a mail drop is really your best option because the food there is very overpriced. I spent $60 on 2 days of food there. I digress. For me, personally, in the morning, my breakfast always consisted of like one of these protein bars, and then I'd get on out and get moving. A lot of times I'd eat it as I went because it was easy. Some people will do the oatmeal route. Some people even take the time to make coffee. I was lazy, and usually the bugs would come out, so I just kind of wanted to start moving. So I never really did coffee. Snacks galore, nuts, dried fruit. A lot of people did candy bars. I had a hard time jumping on the candy bar train. I would do it sometimes, and I would find myself running up a mountain afterwards. When it got warmer, the chocolate would melt a lot. Just mush in a wrapper. Lunch, I actually didn't eat lunch. A lot of thru hikers would have a lunch. There was like this one guy, he literally would make gourmet food on the trail. Like, he had everything. And just would gourmet it up like crazy. Taking all that time to cook was kind of bothersome to me, and I didn't want to carry all that stuff. But hey, if you want to live like a king every time you eat, or a queen, you can go ahead and do that. Dinners, I really wasn't big on the whole ramen thing. I tried it in the beginning, and then it just reminded me of college and poor life choices. So I didn't really like the whole ramen thing. I often did mac and cheese, or like rice and beans, Or, the north sides were really huge with like pretty much everybody.
Pasta, pasta, pasta.
A lot of people would bring a sausage, which kind of brings me into food choices. After the trail, I became vegan. I know, crazy. When I wouldn't eat meat for like a week, I'd eat it again and get really sick. So for me, it was a really good choice post-trail. But some of you may be vegan or gluten-free. And if that's the case, it's probably really important for you to think about mail drops. Especially in the South, in a lot of the towns, you pretty much are just running into a Dollar General. And the options there are really limited and definitely not vegan friendly or possibly very gluten-free friendly. But once you get into towns, like a lot of restaurants, you can at least get a salad, which is not much, but it's something. Oftentimes, if you have a problem with cheese, you can actually just ask, like if you go to a pizza joint, just ask for them not to put on cheese. They'll look at you like you have 5 heads. In town, when I was hiking, I really had a thing for ice cream. And in the South, sweet tea. The Southerners, they really know how to make their sweet tea. Like, really know how to make sweet tea. Good job. Most towns will have a restaurant. Some of them have more options. Some of the bigger towns have more options. But they usually at least have one place that you could go and get a hot meal if you really wanted to. Creativity is key. Finding spices. Stealing condiments. I did not just tell you to steal. Steal. That's awesome. Like, there was nothing like getting a packet of relish and throwing that into my pasta. It sounds really gross. Really gross. But when you're having the same kind of pasta day in and day out, adding a different flavor makes things amazing. Stealing. Stealing is an important thing to do. Don't have your kids watch this. Some habits die hard.